In today's video we are going to show you and explain step by step how to use two indicators that has been using a fairly well-known trader of 24 years, which already has a capital of over $5 million, fully audited, and that have served to position himself as one of the best traders of the year, because it has reached this amount of capital creating their own strategies over 3 or 4 years starting from scratch, an absolute madness, so stay tuned to not miss any detail. Welcome to the Trader's Game. And before we start, remember that in the description you have the links to join us in our Telegram community, where every day we post charts and analysis of what is happening in the financial markets. And also the trading bonus page, which has been updated and have added new promotions and free bonuses, for all those who are starting in the world of trading. Do not forget to leave your email if you want to receive a weekly newsletter with everything that has happened during those days. As you know, this type of strategies we always adapt them so that you can use them in cryptocurrencies, forex, or traditional stocks. The first thing we are going to do is go to the indicators part and look for the RMI trend sniper. It is not an indicator that is too well known, but it has an incredible potential. I think that only visually you can see how well it interprets the different trends, and that we are in 5-minute time frame, which makes it an ideal indicator for those who want to do scalping or day trading. The first thing we have to do is to go to the configuration part and change a few parameters. In fact, it would simply lower the RMI length from 14 to 11 and leave the rest as it is. In style as always to your taste, but I have to say that I quite like the design they have left despite being simply a kind of average. The operation is very simple. We would simply have to follow these marks, these kind of signals that tell us the direction of the trend. For example, at the time that closes this candle here we would place the stop loss. Very important to do it just above the RMI trend sniper, and the first take profit we would place it in ratio 1:1. After collecting that first operation we can even let run a second take profit up to the ratio 1.5:1. As you see again we would take profit. A little later we mark that the trend has changed, and in this case we would place again the stop loss, just below the trend sniper, and the first take profit at 1:1 ratio. As you see again we would get back to profit, and that second take profit we would place it again at 1.5:1. But of course this cannot be so simple. As you see there are many signals, especially in areas where the price begins to lateralize, that this indicator alone is quite difficult. Even so, to make micro scalping, enter all signals taking a small profit, we would practically always come out in profit. But for those of you who are newer to the world of trading, I do not recommend it. That we could do much better with experience and knowledge of algorithmic trading, to connect some kind of high frequency bot that will operate for us. But it is not the case, so we return to the indicators area and look for the volume supported linear regression trend. In this case it is a fairly well-known indicator to which we will also make a couple of changes to our liking. In data entries we will lower the short-term length from 20 to 15, and the long-term length from 50 to 45. In the style area there are many data that we do not need to change. However, again in the part of data entries, where it says line colors, I recommend that you do the following. And is that to not make mistakes and know exactly when they are buying or selling zones, we will change the 3 that come out in blue for red. You can put the same color, nothing happens. And the oranges we will change the 3 for green. We do this basically so that although we get signals at the top and we have to confirm it with the histogram at the bottom, there will be many times that these signals will come out when we are in areas of extreme purchase or extreme sale. So they will help us to detect these points and we will avoid some operations that we could have lost. In this case, for example, we come from a big fall, and that is reflected by the red histogram in the lower indicator. But we also see that the line in this case that is green is far away from the center. Obviously, as in all oscillators, the more those variables are far from the center, the more oversold or overbought they will be, and with which there is a greater probability that this trend will change. That is to say, in the sniper train gives us a green buy signal. We go down to look if the lower indicator is green. Indeed it is. And we also see that this line has also been turning from a negative trend. It is very far from the center, and obviously it is also green, which indicates buy. We would place our operation, in this case to have more confirmations, and the stop loss should go for the previous lows. And again we would look for that first operation with 1:1 ratio. In this case, when using the combination of both indicators, for the second operation, the one that we will take to ratio 1.5:1, which in this case by millimeters is not given to us. For this second take profit we would take our stop loss to break even, because in the event that the price turns around we have already collected 100% of the operation of ratio 1. And in this second take profit that we let run we would simply stay in break even. And what happens here? We have another signal, in this case of downward trend change. We look at the lower indicator. Again the wave is far away from the zero zone, that central area, and is in red. Everything coincides, the rules are met and are clear. We place our operation in short, and again we take the first profits at that ratio 1:1. We let run that take profit number 2 to ratio 1.5, we lower in this case our stop loss to break even, and again we return to take profits. Here it also depends on your risk aversion, as we could see that at this time there is not much volume, however the price continues to fall. Here is where we should use our basic knowledge of trading to decide whether to let this operation run a little longer, at least until we see some kind of divergence between the histogram and the price. In this case we see that the histogram begins to rise and the price continues to fall, so everything that would be this area here would be a good area to start thinking that we should take those profits, but well, this is up to each one's taste, and again at the next signal we have again all the rules complete, we place that stop loss below and take profits to ratio 1:1. As I was telling you, I only recommend you to operate in this type of zones where it is clearly marked that the wave of the lower indicator is far away from the center zone, because otherwise it would mean that we are in a lateralization zone where, as you can see, it is more difficult to get many positive operations. And here just at this point, if you look, I want you to keep in mind that in the case that, for example, these two negative signals have the red histogram, remember that I told you to place the color of this line in this way for something in particular, and is that these two signals, although they were negative with the red histogram, both are in green line. So we will avoid taking those operations because it is most likely to go wrong and that the trend begins to reverse. As you can see, it is a set of indicators quite simple to understand, but in turn if we follow with discipline the rules that we have marked, you becomes very effective, and I am sure that I will greatly improve your trading. As always, we invite you to try them for yourselves and tell us in the comments below what you think. Thank you heartily that if you like our work you leave us a nice like on the video, which is free and helps us a lot, and that you also go through our free Telegram community that we always leave you in the description, as well as the official page of Trading Bonus, where all those who are looking for a new exchange or broker to operate you must pass and take advantage of their promotions. Thank you very much for watching and see you in the next video of the Trader's Game.